Cracking, everybody. Buenos dias. Saludos. Just relaxing. It's in a video that kind of bugged me. So I'm going to make a counter video. I'm not going to talk about anybody particular. I'm not going to disrespect anybody. It's not my intentions. I just want you to know what my thinking is on certain subjects. So when you get busted and you're starting to do your time, you're in the system, whether it's county, because usually that's where you're going to start, right? Almost all the time, 100% of times, you're going to start in the county. You got to ask yourself, what do you want out of the system? What do you want your reputation to be? What do you want? What do you expect it to do? What are you supposed to do? What do you want to do? Right? And then you get your outcome. You pick a path that you want to follow in order to obtain your goal, right? Whatever that may be. So when I got busted, my whole thing was I was who I was already. I was who I wanted to be. I wanted to be that guy in the neighborhood. I wanted to be known throughout my neighborhood as a homeboy that was down, that was willing to give up everything and put everything ahead of for the neighborhood, including my family and myself. I put my neighborhood before everything. And I never wanted anything else. I never aspired to be anything else other than a guy from Elmwood. So, doing so, your trajectory is a lot different than when you aspire to be something else. Your thinking is different. The way you function is different. Now, don't get me wrong. When you get in a system, you have to do certain things. It's expected of you. And I was cool with that. I was like, okay, we gotta do what we gotta do. It's all part of the game, right? Some people feel it's honorable to go to the shoe. It's honorable to be put in those positions where you're caged up, and I don't feel that way. I don't know anybody, and I mean anybody, that wants to be locked up. I don't know. Everybody I know would much rather be on the streets than in the system. But they make do in the system because a lot of times it's our pride that we continue to do things that put ourselves in those positions to get busted, right? So, myself, I never felt it was honorable to get locked up. I never thought it was something to be proud of. And I never aspired to be anything other than the homeboy from the neighborhood. Some people think different. Some people think that it's, they want to go to the shoe. It's very rare when somebody does. Most people go in the system thinking they anticipate a shoe program because they know how they are, or they know what they're willing to do. And I've always felt that if I was going to do something, I wanted to get away with it. Now, I'm not saying that I did anything. I'm not saying I didn't. What I am saying is, if I had to do something, or I was expected to do something, or I chose to do something, I always did it with the intentions of getting away with it completely. It was bad enough that I got busted for doing what I did, and I wasn't happy about it, and I wasn't proud of it. People aspire to be other things sometimes, so the mentality is different than, let's say, me or you. Their mentality is that those shoe terms and stuff like that, they hold them dear. They feel that they're honorable. They feel that in order to be that real one, that's where you had to go. And I don't feel that way. And I think a lot of guys need to understand that, because let's be honest, some people are so in love with the life that that's all they can see is that life, where they think it's all about, it's only one way and any other way was wrong. And that's not true. I have no problem with anybody that chose that kind of life. You chose that life, that's what you wanted, you went and got it, more power to you. But that doesn't mean anybody's any less than you because they didn't choose that life. Being locked up is miserable as it is. And then to be locked up again in a smaller cage is even fruitless to me. It's just, it doesn't make sense to me. I know being on the main line, I know being locked up, that things happen. And I've always felt it was more dangerous to be on the line than it was to be in the hole or the shoe. I never felt the urge to be validated by something I did, and from somebody that really don't give a fuck about me. I wanted to be for my neighborhood, and in reality, my neighborhood didn't give a fuck about me. But I obtained the objective I aimed for, and that was to be one of my homeboys, and nothing else. It's just a little truth to, or a little insight on what you might hear here on YouTube, where they feel it's an honorable thing to be locked up in a shoe, to have done certain things to prove who you are, when I don't feel the same way. Don't get me wrong, it comes down to it. I do what I had to do because of my neighborhood, because that's what I never want to let my neighborhood down. But am I in the wrong for just aiming for that, not aiming for something bigger? I don't think I am. But that's a little truth for you. Have a blessed one.